to the Universal Order Show. This is episode 4. I am the Bronx Paladin. How you doing? Today, we actually get to sit down and chat with the Guild Officer. So, really hope this is going to be a fun ride for all of you. Without further ado, let us bring the next person into the hot seat. Please join me in welcoming Medie. Hey there, how you doing?
Hello.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this and sharing some time with us.
I have a gun to my head.
Well, that's just from being an officer. Imagine what I have as the guild leader.
Please send help.
So, like I said, this is Medie. She plays a priest. She's played every version of a priest in different scenarios, from healing raids, dealing damage in a raid, healing arena. Uh, she has so many things that she likes to do, and hopefully we can get to as much as we can. But we always start at the beginning. So, if you would please, where does Medie come from?
Well, when I first started playing WoW back in vanilla, I was not Medie because Medie is a blood elf. Blood elves didn't exist. So I actually started as a night elf hunter because all girls in vanilla played night elf hunters.
Okay.
And I played on a server called Thorium Brotherhood, and I was in a guild called United Resistance. And those buddies of mine, they're still my friends today. They live mostly down in Georgia, but that's how I met my fiance Justin.
Oh,
His
wow.
character was a gnome named Marshmallow, and we all called him Marsh. Uh, anyway, so we've known each other a long time. And then when Burning Crusade came out, we moved servers to Ravenholdt because one of my friends at the time insisted that he wanted to go to an RP PvP server or yeah, RP server,
Right.
whatever. I didn't care. I was just along for the ride, and I was really excited to play a blood elf. So I rolled a priest, and Medie's been my main ever since. Yeah, I
Okay.
pretty much leveled all the way through Warlords of Draenor as holy, and then in Draenor, UO had way too many healers, and you were like, well, if you could just learn to damage, that would be great. So I've been Shadow since Draenor, and here we are.
Yep.
I'm still
And
Shadow. I prefer to play Shadow now, but I'll still heal dungeons sometimes as
mm-hmm.
Holy. I don't play Disc. That doesn't exist. That's not a spec.
Our viewers seem to think otherwise. So, first of all, very long history there with the name, but does it have a meaning?
Oh God. It's
Now,
okay.
the way it's spelled is Medie, and of course,
Yes.
people have humorously pronounced it phonetically. However, you
Oh, I
pronounce
get
it in a way,
everything.
right?
Yeah, everyone says like Medie, Medi, Meaty. It's Medie. Okay. All right. I didn't even think of the whole me die thing until people told me that I spelled it like that because I'm stupid and I don't know. I just was like, oh, I'll pronounce it like a Japanese person would pronounce it, which isn't even actually accurate anyway. I'm just a weeb, so that's all. The name means literally nothing. I just made it up.
Okay. Well, does have a nice ring to it. I don't really remember if this is totally accurate, but there's like a singer, I believe, who's Jade or something like that, and it's pronounced Sade or Jade, one of those two. So I was just curious if there was a meaning behind it. So you've definitely played for a long time, as you said you were in the base game, and you have friends who are now in Georgia or were at the time. Are you still in contact with them? Do they still play?
Yeah, they don't play anymore, but we kind of get together once a year, except last year because of the Backstreet Boys reunion tour, aka COVID. We didn't get to meet up last year, but we do like a game night once a year where we do like tabletop games and maybe like a D&D one shot or something.
Okay.
But I always love to see those guys. I hope we can see them this year because I miss them. Yeah.
Oh, shout out to your friends in Georgia. You said that your fiance played at the time, who no longer does, but when he joined the guild, he was Alador the shaman, and
Yeah,
he
he played a
played
troll
until,
spammy.
and he played
Yeah.
until I believe Wrath. I don't think he.
No, we both quit in the middle of Kata because
Oh, okay.
that we hated Kata. Sorry to anybody out there who loved Kata, but that like I don't know. I really did not like healing as a holy priest in Kata, and we quit halfway through that, and he never came back to the game. But I came back in Pandaria and enjoyed the shit out of that for the tail end there, and then I've been playing since then.
All right. So in the guild, as stated before, you are currently a guild officer, freshly made for this expansion. However, for the longest time, you were known as the guild mom, nurturing and
I'm still
socializing with
guild
everybody.
mom. Hang on, I have a special guest. Come here.
Oh,
Come here. Yes.
look at what we got. It's a
Maybe.
Poppers. Hi,
Name is
Poppers.
Yuki.
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 Hi, Yuki.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Yes.
That's a cutie. How old is he?
He is 3 months. We got him a little less than a month ago, and he's a Havanese, and he is a ball of piss and fur, and he's just really sweet.
Oh, minus the fur part, and you got babies. As,
Yeah, I don't know. He's cuter, I think.
as any animal lover would agree with you. Well, that was wonderful. Thank you, Yuki. And thank you, Justin, on the side. I'll thank him personally later.
I bet.
You, like I said, you've been playing for a long time. You're currently a guild officer, and uh, how has that been? How's that experience been for you so far this expansion? Do you feel like you've been able to uh, contribute the way that you want to, made a difference? Um, is it what you thought it would be?
Don't join our guild, please. Everybody who's currently in the guild, just run. Like, get out while you still can. Right?
Wow.
This is a
And
nightmare. I'm
shout
in
out to Tit
hell.
Lamont. Thank you very much.
Just kidding. I mean, I love it. It's great. I don't know. I help put together raids. Nobody listens to me, so it's pretty much like being the guild leader, except less respect, which isn't saying much because
Mm-mm.
nobody respects you either. So it's
Bar
fine.
is very low, but you're
It's
still
oh,
you're still this much above me at least, so there's joy in that. Um, but aside from that, do you feel like uh so far the way that Nathria has gone that you were able to make a substantial contribution, and going forward, do you think that you can really help make a difference going forward?
as far as being an officer, I don't know. I do my best, but part of what I consider a strength to my role in the guild is that I try to be flexible. Like, yes, I play shadow, but if we're down healers and we need an extra healer, I take pleasure in being able to swap to that role, and uh basically it doesn't matter to me what I have to do to help us get success as long as the ends justify the means. If we're able to do something and I have to friggin' play discipline. Sorry,
Well,
but I would do it. I would do it if we had to.
right.
I don't know.
I don't think we've yet like demanded that, but I will say your ability
No,
to
but you guys
change.
definitely had, like, such a stiffy last expansion. You're like, "We need that bubble. Come on, give us those shields. They're so OP."
They every spec has their moment to shine. But your ability to change, whether regardless of what we need, and be a filler for that has been admirable, and we thank you for that. Uh, there's when an expansion begins, as I'm sure any other player out there can relate to, there's a swarm of people where, because everybody wants to see the new hotness, they want to see what's going on, what's the story, or whatever the case may be. And then you got like 40, 100 people to manage. Well, I'm sure the big servers like Illidan or Emerald Dream, they got to deal with hundreds. But the fact remains that you have such a large amount of people that it's like, what do you do with all of them? And then time goes on, people stop, take a break, just quit altogether, and then it's like, okay, now we still have the numbers we need, but we don't have the ability to uh, go forward properly. And then people like you enable that by being able to be flexible. So it's really a great thing when you can play a class that can help out in those ways. Um, but going backwards, when you said you were playing the Alliance with on the Alliance in the base game, uh, and then you came over here between the Alliance and coming here to Universal Order, how was your, if any, rating experience in the base game? Like, did you engage in that activity?
Let's see. In United Resistance, I can't remember how far we got. I was in like a bunch of like not a bunch, but like a smattering of other raiding guilds. I think on Ravenholdt I was in Legacy of the Sun, and then I was in Elegy, which was the precursor to Universal Order run by a guy named Black Omen who was a dick, and and it was better when you took over. I mean, comparatively speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Mm-hmm.
low bar, but
It's just not.
yeah, in vanilla, what did I do? Let's see. We did Molten Core, we did ZG, we dipped our toes into Blackwing Lair. I never got to see Nax in vanilla. That was something that I always regretted. I did I think Universal Order, didn't we do like a little bit in BC, just like the first couple bosses or something? Or maybe I just pugged it. That was kind of like a last ditch. Oh, let's go see Nax before they take it away and
Oh
redo it
no.
or whatever. I don't know,
No,
but
we never got a chance to. I think it had already
no,
disappeared.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
they removed it to work on it for the next expansion.
right. That's
Um,
true.
and one of these days, I plan on going into the history of the guild and what we've done. But yeah, because many stories. You've been a part of most of them. Uh, what did
The guild's
what did
had a few deaths and rebirths.
yeah?
I
I
think at
want to
the end of
say
Draenor we fell
three.
apart because black I don't know, Black Hand, Blast Furnace
Uh,
and Black Hand
well,
both
thankfully that
shelved
was
us.
more of us just taking a break because we were so burnt out. It
We were
wasn't
on a break.
well, yeah, but we the difference between what happened then in these different instances that wasn't like it, it wasn't a bad thing that happened. It wasn't like an inner squabble or something like what happened after Emerald Nightmare. I'm sorry. So again,
Oh, we don't
more
talk
on that
about the
another
dark
time.
times.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the dark times. So what did the two of you do after you decided to take a break? Were you pursuing uh other online games, or did you just take a break from all that?
Uh oh god. We played so many MMOs. Like just that nothing was like really ever as good as WoW. Nothing could hold our interest very long. But what did we do? We did oh god. Now I'm totally blanking. We did Terra, we did Star
Okay.
Wars, we did
Was Rift one of them?
Rift. We did Rift. Yes,
Okay.
for sure. I don't think we did Guild Wars. But like after, after all that, I pretty much played exclusively League of Legends for 2 years. We played a lot of League of Legends. And that's how I
Okay.
met some people who ended up coming back with us to WoW when we went back to WoW too. So
Yeah. Always helpful.
we still play League every Monday night, but just ARAMs.
Okay.
Ragnall
I
says
can
League of Legends is a dead game now.
I can definitely relate to that as I currently play their card game, the Riot card game, the Legends of Runeterra, and I used to just play ranked like religiously. I used to try to get gold every season, which I know is just a halfway point. I suck, okay? But now they introduced a feature called Labs where you play, it's a single player experience, and it's just so fun. It's random, anything can happen, it's completely off the chain, and yeah, I don't even bother with ranked anymore. It's like I just play a single player game. So I can relate. If you don't like Summoner's Rift, I tried it. I am
Yeah.
absolutely terrible at MOBA, so props to you and the crew that you play with.
Well, I mean, before like before I came back to WoW, I did play a lot of Summoner's Rift, but I don't know. Now it's just like so much more chill to play ARAMs. There's no expectation. Well, there's
Hmm.
very little expectation that you'll be amazing because you might end up with a random character, and then you get stuck with people right like Ragnall who can't clinch the penta anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But I will say, at least Ragnar, and I'm harping on him because he's in chat. At least Ragnar plays the most flexible class in the game. I mean, you're saying, oh, it's good for priests can be flexible, but they can't nothing beat them druids, am I right?
Um, Similar to you, he has at least done a damage dealing role and a healing. I Unless we're like completely screwing around, I don't think I've ever seen him go Guardian, and maybe in the days of Forgotten Era he went Feral. I don't know. Uh,
He played
but
Feral with me. He was a Feral in arenas. It
okay.
was a disaster.
That you just pretty much described it right now.
Oh, he says he
So
played Feral in Kata too.
yep. Hey, we need you on the show, Ragnall. Let's you can come on and return fire, so to speak.
Yeah, come on, Ragnar. If I'm on here, you better do it too.
Yeah, man.
It's all the rage. Fun people doing this. Uh-huh.
So, a couple of side notes. One, I noticed that you're wearing a Horde hoodie. Is that a hoodie?
Gotta rep the horde.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
When you play with your friends in Georgia, do you bring an Alliance hoodie?
God, no. Ew. Gross.
Well, I mean that's where you met them.
Yeah, but like, I was a naive child back then. I didn't know what was good for me. Only children play Alliance.
Mhm.
So
Well, like you, I
I just
also
angered half
started.
the population of WoW. So that's
Yeah,
good.
well, half the population of WoW is also angry, especially with this long, long break. All right, so you've been mercifully enough a part of us for quite a long time. Aside from the break between Cataclysm and Pandaria, you've been pretty consistent. Uh, you've been active. You contribute in your own way. You've been a part of practically everything we've done. So, yeah, how do you see the guild going forward into is it called Chains of Domination? Is that what the next one's called?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Uh, I everybody's gonna come back for when the patch hits, and then we'll see who sticks around. But the good people, they always stay in my heart. I'm just
That
looking
it,
forward to collecting more mounts. That's about it, giving me
there you
more
go.
mounts for the collection.
Yep, we as always will organize the glory of whatever the raid's called. Uh I am curious though if they are releasing a mega dungeon, if that's what they're calling them, if they're
Yeah.
going to have one of those mounts similar to Mechagon where we have to do a hard mode. Oh, I love that. I love having a hard mode, a choice to do something out of the ordinary instead of I guess heroic and mythic kind of do the same thing, but I like the choice like Old War. Old War was amazing with the hard mode.
Hard mode stuff too, because then it's like, I don't know, it makes the experience a little bit fresh when you kind of get it on farm or whatever. But as far as mount drops in there, I'm not sure. I know there's some cute pets that I'm interested in. Um, there's a lot of cool mom mounts that I'm looking forward to. There's one that literally is a hand that you can ride. I don't
Oh
know how
wow.
you get it, but I want it. It's dope.
Oh, very nice. I look forward to that. I really have to read up on the stuff, especially since uh, there's usually always some insane ways to go about getting these. So, the second side note, rewinding for a bit, that I wanted to make to all of the people that are watching, I would like you to know that thanks to this very, very generous person, uh, I have this background that you're seeing behind me, the banner above the stream. It's been amazing just looking at it, and I do not have an artistic bone in my body. No matter how simple it was for you to do this, it looks amazing, and I thank you dearly for it.
We gotta get you Photoshop, man. It's really not that hard.
I'm still learning Adobe. I really, really hope I have these ideas. I actually came up with an intro idea to make like a, but I don't know how to actually make a video. But I'll worry
The
about that on my
video
own time.
editing stuff, that's way beyond me. I don't know any of that. You'd have to ask Nalzakar.
So, going forward, we hope that we can continue to rely on your assistance, and I really hope that for your sake, everything that you like to do, your collecting, your dressing up, your achievements, all your fun stuff that you like to do, I really hope that the next wave of that is relatively stress free.
It won't be, but thank you. The sentiment is appreciated.
Well, I think, I don't know. What would you agree that the the dungeon achievements, except for that last one, but again, we were dead tired when we were doing this. But the dungeon achievements for this expansion were merciful compared to previous.
Yeah, actually, I would have to agree with you on that. I think Legion took us a lot longer to finish the glory of the dungeon hero stuff, but it was worth it. That purple hippogriff was dope.
It was definitely a fun ride, and anybody that wants a fun experience, try doing the Sanguine Death's final achievement when you're half awake. It's so much fun.
Oh yeah, that was the one that we failed and had to come back on. Look,
Uh,
I'm not good at basketball, okay?
I do hope that you and the rest of your friends, our beloved guild members, hope you enjoy your anime night. I think it's absolutely amazing that you and several people can be friends enough that you can do stuff outside of the game. More and more people need to do that. You have uh, League of Legends on Monday, anime night on Friday. It's incredible. Oh, and one last,
Gotta nerd out every day, man.
yeah, it's good. And a shout out to you and everybody that works so hard to get your Keystone Master. Well done.
That was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it can be. So, to everybody that's watching, thank you so much for giving us your time. I am the Bronx Paladin. This is your Guild Officer Medie. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. And until next time.
Cheers, everyone. TGIF.